Hey guys, it's Sean. Remember to like, share, and subscribe. Hello, everybody. Welcome. I'm so excited to be here with you. So, if you're new to the channel, I'm so glad to have you here. If you are a returner to my channel, I'm still so glad to have you here. Okay, I'm like gushing over myself right now because it's been like 2 weeks since I've released a new video. If you're a subscriber, you know that I release new videos every other week. And then every other week, I release a personal reading. I publish a personal reading that the querent of that reading has given me permission to share publicly here on Facebook. So it's, sorry, YouTube, not Facebook. What am I thinking? Oh, Casper, no, my cat just fell. Hold on a second, guys. Cass, this is not the best idea. You want to sleep there? Okay, let mommy move these things so you can sleep. Please don't pull down my setup. Sorry about that, y'all, but if you have a cat, you know they're going to do what they're going to do, right? They have minds, lives, opinions of their own. Did you hear that? He's talking. All right, so anyway, back to why we are here today. This is a super special video because it's actually in collaboration with Esther of Estara Tarot. If you are here because you actually are subscribed to Esther or watch her videos and she sent you here to me, hello, I'm so glad to have you here, Starites. That's what I'm going to call you. I don't know if Esther calls you something, but I'm going to call you Starites or Starlets. Starlet is kind of common though. I don't know. Maybe I shouldn't be naming her viewers, right? Yes, Esther and I decided it would be a lot of fun and also very interesting as well as informative if we did a collaboration this week on your destiny, life path, or purpose. Now, I personally believe these are all the same thing, but different people are comfortable with different terminology for it. So that is what we are covering here today. The link to Esther's channel is in the description box of this video. So as soon as you get done with your reading here, be sure you click on that, go and check out her reading because we're going to be covering two sides of the same topic. I'm going to talk about, well, actually what I'm going to do is I'm going to illuminate or confirm for you what you have already done or are currently doing well to help you along this path. So in other words, how you've already actualized this destiny or life path or purpose in your life already, how you've already begun to actualize that. Esther is going to give you guidance on your next steps to take so that you can keep advancing and keep moving forward. Now, if you need further support in this area, career readings are currently available in my Etsy shop and on my website. Links to both are below in the description box. Career readings for artists or for those who hope to one day become artists start at only $1.11. So that's 111. And the reason why I price it there is so that artists or those who hope to become artists can afford it. If you are a non-artist, I also have affordable career readings for you. So career readings for non-artists start at $4.44. So that's 444. Now, I don't charge by the number of minutes. Okay, I charge by topic covered. So each of the different reading topics available on my Etsy shop and on my website, they're each priced depending on what that topic is. Most of the paid readings last at least 20 minutes long. So you definitely get bang for your buck. Yeah, I said it. I wonder how corny I'm going to be this time. I think I've got like a pretty high corn factor, right? Yeah. Anyway, why don't we get started? So as you can see, there are 3 piles on the screen. You get to choose for yourself which one of these piles you want to receive your message from today. Okay, pile number 1 has 2 decks that we will be reading from. Pile number 2 also has 2 decks that we will be reading from. And guess what? That's right, pile number 3, he's still talking mess. Y'all hear this cat? Yes, I know, baby. I know. But mommy can't just sit and let you sit on my lap all day. That's what he wants to do. Pile number 3 also has 2 decks that we will be reading from today. For pile number 1, we have the Gilded Tarot. No, sorry. We have the Lightseers Tarot by Chris Ann. And we have the This Might Hurt Tarot by Isabella Rockman. For pile number 2, we will be reading from the Wiser Tarot, as well as the Gilded Tarot Royale by Cyril Marchetti. The Wiser Tarot is it's Pamela Smith Coleman's imagery and the Edward Waite guidebook, except it's not the actual. It's a Waite Smith deck is what I'm trying to get at. It's not a clone. It's an actual Waite Smith deck that has been recolored with watercolors. So it's been published by Wiser as opposed to Rider. So that's why I'm not calling it a Rider Waite Smith deck. It's actually a Wiser Waite Smith deck. And then the third option for group 3 is going to be, we're going to be reading from the Tarot of the Divine by Yashimoto. I think I said that right. I always forget her name. This girl, one day she's going to come up on one of my videos and just be like, girl, what is wrong with you? Let me double check that really quickly. Her name is I can't read that. I got old eyes. Yoshitani. Yoshitani is her name. Gosh, I feel so culturally insensitive right now, and I don't mean to be. I'm just, old and forgetful. And then the second deck for group 3 is going to be the Pulp Girls Tarot deck. So those are your 3 options. Take a few seconds, look them over, see which one is calling to you, and then go to the timestamps to get your reading. If you are new to Pick a Card, here's how it works. The timestamps corresponding with each of these readings can be found in the description box of this video. If you are on a laptop or desktop, it's easy for you to find those there in the description box. If you are on a phone, they're going to be in the first comment of the comment section. I'm going to pin that for you. So that makes it easier for people who are using their phone to watch and or listen to this to find their reading. So again, you guys, I'm so glad you're here. I'm so excited to do this. Let's have some fun. Hey, group 1, welcome to your reading. So as I mentioned in the introduction, today's video is a collaboration with Esther of Estara Tarot, and we are going to be speaking today about your life path, your destiny, your purpose, whichever you prefer to call it. I'm going to let you know, or possibly just confirm for you, how you've already actualized this in your life. Esther, in her video, is going to give you guidance on your next steps to take. The link to her video is in the description of this one. So as soon as you get done with me, head on over there so you can know what's up. I have already pre-shuffled your cards. However, you will hear and or see me do the side shuffle just because it does sometimes help me think. But know that these cards have been more than adequately randomized and cleared for your reading here today. So let's talk about group 1. How has group 1 already begun to actualize their destiny, their life path, their purpose? How has group 1 already begun to actualize their destiny, their life path? Okay. Their purpose. So we have these guys. How has group 1 begun to actualize their destiny, their life path, their purpose? Thank you. How has group 1 begun to, thank you. How has group 1 already begun to actualize their purpose? All right, let me make sure all of that is in the frame so you can see it. It looks like all is well. So what have we got? Well, we start. Oh, wow, wow, wow. So, you guys, right off the bat, I'm getting that y'all are a very magical group of people. If magical is a word that triggers you, think of it as capable, okay? You guys are able to get things done, and you've already, according to this today, been doing it. We also have temperance, 10 of wands, and the Hanged Man. Very interesting that you got three major arcana cards. Now, I don't tend to, I don't always read reversal. Sometimes I read reversal, sometimes I do not. It depends on what the message seems to be. And with the message that you guys are getting here so far, I feel quite certain that these cards are saying you have such an ability to bring that which you desire, want, conceive of into fruition, that you've already done it a lot. I mean, a lot. You have accomplished many things. For some of you, it may feel as though your life purpose has, like you've had many, that you are so capable and full of so much internal power, personal power, that you have been able to bring to fruition everything you have set your mind to or had your heart set on. Okay, so there may have been times in your life where you felt a specific thing was your life purpose, and then at other times in your life, because of growth or changes, or maybe even sometimes because of things out of your control, you've redirected and taken steps, taking actions towards other things, and been just as successful as at that, which then led you to believe that that was your life purpose. So for this group, there can sometimes be a sense, I'm getting that there can sometimes be a sense of not quite knowing what your life purpose is, or your destiny, or your life path, because of the fact that you have been able to make so many different things work for you. So it's not as cut and dry or as clear as it might be for someone who's only good at one thing, or who has only had success in one area. Also, what I'm getting with this for you guys is, because you have the ability to do so much so well and have for so much of your life, that there is an energetic imbalance in your life in regards to manifesting or creating or building, again, whichever word feels more comfortable for you. So, with this very strong Queen of Wands magic, along with the Wheel of Fortune that you have here, we also have the Temperance card. And the Temperance card, for those of you who aren't super familiar with tarot, is it talks about balance. And that Temperance card is showing up right between these very magical cards for you, and the 10 of Wands card, which talks about being burdened, having a lot on your plate, having too much on your plate, and being someone like yourself who is so very capable. That's like that's the word that just keeps coming up. Like, if you were a non-human creature, you might be like an octopus, right? Because you have the ability to have your hand on so many things, right? You could do so many things. So just imagine, like, this is going to sound a little bit crazy to some people, but imagine like if you were a cartoon octopus. I don't know why you have to be a cartoon. Maybe because real octopi don't paint or cook or what the hell ever as that we do as humans. But let's just imagine, like, say you're in SpongeBob world. I don't even watch that show, but I assume there's an octopus in it, or there could be octopi in it because of the fact that it's under the sea. And there's a cartoon octopus, and that cartoon octopus is you, and one of those hands is building a business, and the other one of those hands is writing a book, and another, well, they're not hands, they're the tentacles. Are the tentacles just the sucky things? No, the whole appendage is the tentacle. That's right. Okay, so one of the tentacles is building a business, and the other tentacle is writing a book, and another tentacle is studying investments and learning how to build wealth. And there's 8 different ones. One is baking pies. Whatever the things are, you are that creature. You are that energy here on earth who is able to do so many things. And part of the main reason why you can do so many things is just you have so much inherent ability and skill. I'm getting that it's more than just being smart, but you're a fast processor, right? You process things very quickly, which means you learn very quickly. And because you learn quickly, you can do a lot of things. You master things faster than a lot of other people do. So that's one reason. But the other reason is the energy in and around you is so cosmic in its nature. It is so bright, so strong in energy that's emanating from you. You're that person who has probably been told over and over and over again in their life that they've got, quote, such a strong presence, right? Or that you're, quote, so impressive, or any of those things. That's who you guys are, group 1. And so because you can do all those things, because you are the octopus, so to speak, with, the ability to tend to many things at once, you often overwork yourself. Okay. And for some of you, it's not even that you're doing a ton of things at one time, but for some of you, it's the minute you finish with one accomplishment, you immediately start in on another accomplishment. And so what that means is you are going from thing to thing to thing to thing to thing, and that can also create burnout. That can also bring you to a place of overwork. And I feel like we see that represented here with this 10 of Wands as well as with this Temperance card, that you need more of a balance in how you go about manifesting things, how you go about achieving goals. For those of you who prefer that language to manifesting, it's the same thing. Okay. And you also got Hangman here. And Hangman talks about change of perspective, but Hangman can also talk about resting. I deliberately gave you that much silence, just so that I feel like this group, more than any other group that I've talked to in any of my videos, needed to experience for a second stillness. And what's coming up for you here today is that you have not yet learned how to let yourself have stillness, because you are so good at achieving, creating, conceptualizing, manifesting, bringing about, birthing. This is a gift that you have that's stronger than most people have it. So changing your perspective of what it means to be achieved, if you even think in terms of calling yourself an achiever. For a lot of you, I feel like it's just the way you roll, right? You might have been that kid that had like a super high metabolism and like you were like super skinny when you were young, and people always said things to you like, you need to eat a hamburger. You might have been that kid. And so you tried to eat the hamburger and you stayed skinny. It's because you had a very high metabolism, and part of that is because there's just so much energy running through you. You don't tire easily, which is one of the reasons why you don't rest often. You wake up with ideas and you immediately set upon bringing those ideas to life. You might be that person that when you wake up in the morning, you reach for your phone, even though you know you've heard productivity person after productivity person after productivity person say you shouldn't do that. You still do it. And before you've even gotten up for the day or had your first drink of coffee, you have completed 6 new projects in your, say, Etsy shop, for instance, if you have Etsy like me, or on your website, made 6 different changes to your website, or, responded to pertinent emails, whatever the thing is. You wake up with ideas and you are on fire to bring them to life. And it's almost like, I don't know if you guys are familiar with Hamilton. There's this song in Act 1, at the end of Act 1 of Hamilton, where, the company, the cast, everybody is talking about how Alexander Hamilton just gets so much shit done, And the phrase that's used in the song is, "Why do you write like you're running out of time?" And I feel like that is part of what's at play for you, Group 1. Like, almost as though there's a fear that's driving you that you have to get it done. I feel like, how do I say this? For some of you, it might be a fear that you're running out of time, that you don't have much time to get things done, like actual time in a day or time left in your life. For some of you, though, it's a feeling that you started late and you're trying to make up for what you perceive as lost time, unused time from your past. That's what I'm getting. So it's either a fear that you need to hurry up and do it while you're young. And young is relative, because you can be 40 or in your 40s and be considered young, in your 50s and considered young. So for people like that, it's that you feel like you need to hurry up and get it done before you hit 60s, which, historically has been retirement age. For others of you, it can be that you literally feel like you don't have enough time today to get everything done. And so you just move really fast. And that's why you get so much done. You, Group 1, get more done in like 2 hours than most people get done in a flipping week. Because people are lazy. Yeah, I said it. And if you came over here from one of the other groups, don't be like, "Ooh, Sean called Group 2 and Group 3 lazy." No, I didn't. I called everybody lazy. That's my judgmental voice. Every once in a while, I turn into like Black Auntie. Anyway, I probably shouldn't say stuff like that, but it's already done and I don't edit. So anyway, back to you, Group 1. Before we turn this into the Sean Show, you guys, and like I said, the third set of people within this collective, the people who chose this pile of cards or chose this reading today, you guys feel like you are behind. You have a sense of having had a late start. There's this wonderful quote by a writer named George Eliot that says, "It's never too late to be what you might have been." And for those of you who identify as that group of people who feel like you're late to the party, that you started late, that you're behind, you guys are actually the embodiment of that wonderful quote. It's never too late to be what you might have been. Because y'all are like, all right, I might have started late, but I'm still going to do this shit. And I'm going to do all the shit. That's y'all. That's y'all. And kudos to you. Kudos to you. So if I were to sum this up, if I were to wrap this up into one phrase that encompasses the experience for all of you, what you are doing well, what you have already done well, ways in which you've already actualized it, is you have already established for yourself a sense of accomplishment. You know that you can. You have the confidence that comes with that. And it might have been hard-won confidence. You might not have always had that sense of I can, I will, I have. Not as in I have as in I own, but I have as in I have done it. You've done the damn thing. And you know you can do the damn thing. And so there are more damn things for you to do. Okay, so Let's see if there's any more information coming through for you guys today in regards to this. Because I feel like this first part of your reading it's pretty dang it clear. So is there anything else that we want to share? Is there anything else that group one could benefit from knowing about what they've already actualized in regards to their destiny, their life purpose, their life path, their personal vision? That's another way to think of it. Is there anything else? Oh, okay. Oh, the Fool. Okay. All right. Anything else? So that's like, so far, guys, you guys have 4 major arcana in your reading. And I think that's, major arcana has to do with major life changes. And I think because of the fact that you guys go after and accomplish so much stuff, you constantly have life changes. If you start a business and you get it up and running, that creates one life change, and then you start feeling like, oh, I want to go and do this second business, or I want to write this book. And then that, once you get that up and going, it then changes your life again. So it does not surprise me at all that you guys have so many major arcana in your reading. Anything else that we should share with group one? Oh, okay, all right. Oh, okay, all righty, okay. You guys, hold on. The cards are just going crazy over here. They all just like fell apart in my hand. Kind of glad you can't see that. Anything else that we need to share with group one? Regarding, and there's yet another, wow, major arcana. Wow. Okay. So what we have here, I feel, is a message for you guys to remember to let yourself be a novice at things. Let yourself be new at things. Let yourself learn. Don't let the fact that you have already accomplished so much turn you into someone who's not open to learning new things. And I'm also getting here that there might be something that you secretly would love to do, but have not yet allowed yourself to do that. And or that you need to bring more love into your pursuits and endeavors in the area of the life path. Let me see if I can say that better. Hold on, guys. So not having it just be, I have to do this, or I'm going to do this, or I'm determined to do this. But bring your heart into it more. Really, really focus on the parts of the experience that you love, the things that light you on fire, the things that inspired you to do it in the first place when you first thought of it. Bring love into the equation. Also, I'm getting, you can literally bring love into it by sharing the experience of the expansion of your life path, or the pursuit of your life purpose, the fulfillment of your destiny, with someone who's in your life that you dearly love. Perhaps you have the tendency of compartmentalizing that which you feel is your path from your relationships with people, whether they be romantic or other social or familial, as in your family relationships, whatever it is. But I'm definitely getting for you, the fact that you've done so much is a really, really amazing thing, and it is something for you to be proud of. But I'm getting that you can have much more joy and love the process more if you allow yourself to learn something new all the time, even in regards to those things that you already have a track record in or a sense of accomplishment at. Approach it with childlike wonder, approach it as though it's the first day you're doing it. And let yourself seek out actual structured learning around it. It doesn't have to be going back to school, but it can be self-directed learning, from online articles, blogs, books, YouTube videos. I'm a huge proponent of learning through YouTube because there are some experts on, who have their YouTube channels and they're sharing invaluable information. Allow yourself to have structured learning from other people maybe start a mastermind group that with other people who are walking the same path as you, and you guys learn from each other. But I'm definitely getting a sense here that for you, it would make you even more of what you already are if you just bring love and joy and openness and the willingness to learn and grow to it. Because otherwise, this burnout is something that you are in danger of. Also possible bitterness, boredom. What else am I getting? Over it. A feeling of stuckness. So for any of you who, you've been in a I don't want to say an achiever, but you've been someone who's been able to get things done, really big things done in your life. But lately you have felt that there has been stagnation. You have felt stuck. You have felt like there is no movement. You can't tell where the energy has gone. This part of the reading is especially important for you. You need to breathe new life into it and not just rest on your laurels as having already mastered things. That's what I'm getting for you there. Okay, so you guys, I'm going to begin to wrap this up. But before I do, I want to pull an oracle card for you from the African Goddess Rising Oracle by Abiola Abrams. I hope I said her first name right. Abiola? It's probably Abiola. Abiola sounds better, but is weirder to say. Abiola? Abiola? It's probably Abiola. I don't know. Hey, listen, my legal name is Chantal, right? And people called me Chantal for the whole beginning of my life because I was down in the South. And no matter how much I would say to them Chantal, they would say Chantal. And the name wasn't popular yet. America's Next Top Model had not happened yet to introduce people to a beautiful European with that name. So I was just like the little four-eyed black girl with the weird name. Okay, so let's and I was scrawny. Ooh, y'all, I was skinny. All right, let me focus on you. Because, I'll turn it into the Sean Show. Do any of the goddesses or ancestors within this particular grouping have anything that they would like to share? Oh, honey, okay. Share with group 1. And we have, oh, wow, okay. We have Citra. And Citra, and it might be pronounced Citra, and not Citra. Her keyword here, let me pull it up so you can see it, is brazen. Brazen. And I'm going to give you the affirmation that comes from the guidebook that is associated with Citra. But before I do, I just want to say that just on the merits of her alone and her keyword alone, this is y'all. This is y'all. This woman is full of so much energy and so much possibility. You've got the flowing water. You've got the locomotion. She's carrying the fruits. Her skirt is moving, so she's clearly dancing. She's barefoot, so she's doing it in a way that she wants, not concerned with convention at all. And definitely you guys are brazen because you dare to try. That's the best way for me to sum it up. Duh. Yes, that's the thing with you guys that you are already doing so well. You dare to try. And so many people don't. So kudos to you, group 1, that you are among the few souls on this planet that dare to try. Anyway, so dare to let yourself learn. Be a newbie again. So Citra's, yes, okay, Citra's affirmation, I grabbed the guidebook so I could give it to you word for word. It is this. Let me see if I can put it in the camera so you can see it. You probably can't read that. I am bold, brave, shameless, and brazen. I am bold, brave, shameless, and brazen. And, you know, like I said, I was going to wrap this up, but I just got another hit. And what I'm getting from that is there are some of you who picked this pile and you're listening to it and you're going, Shon, this does not sound like me at all. And what I'm getting to tell you is it is you. You just hold yourself back sometimes. You aren't as comfortable taking the chances because of other people's shame that has been projected onto you. For you guys, this affirmation is something that you should start using on a regular basis to see if it can help you shift from thinking that you shouldn't into being someone who dares to try, even if it's just one thing. Because according to these cards, you have the ability to do it. That's what I got for you guys. That's what I have for you guys. And it's inside of you. Every single one of you that picked this pile, it's already inside of you. You have an inherent ability to do shit. I should make a t-shirt to sell on my website or on Etsy, and it just says, I do shit. This group, you guys are the embodiment of the Nike symbol. Hey, fun fact, I just recently learned that there is a goddess named Nike that the Nike Corporation took their name from because she is the goddess of action. So that's something else that's interesting for you guys to look up if you want more inspiration. All right, group 1. Thank you for letting me read for you today. It has been a pleasure and an honor. And if you've stuck around this long, you don't mind the fact that I talk a lot. So once again, guys, remember, this is a collaboration with Esther Tarot. The link to that channel is below. Make sure you go check out her pick a pile video because she is going to give you guidance on your next steps to fulfilling your path, your purpose, your destiny. If you are not already subscribed to my channel, please go ahead and do so, particularly if you came here, if Esther sent you to me, then you probably haven't heard of me before today. So this is a perfect time for you to go ahead and subscribe to my channel so you can get my videos every single week. Also, go ahead and like this one so that more people out in the YouTube sphere can find it. And give me a comment down below. Let me know if you chose group 2 and this reading, parts of this reading, all of this reading, a little bit of this reading resonated for you. Do me a favor. Put a seashell emoji in the comments. And the reason why I chose seashell is because that shell there was a gift from my niece over the Christmas holiday. She's 5.5 and I love her to death. And she, so I put that shell up in every single one of my readings now. So if you chose group, did I say 2? I meant to say group 1 because y'all are not group 2. I haven't even done 2 readings today. Y'all are the first one. If you chose this group, if you are a group 1 and you identify with any of what I said here today, put that seashell in the emoji and let me know something. Let us all know something that you have already done that makes you feel like a competent, capable, magical, brazen person. Okay, I'm really gonna hang up now. Well, not hang up because it's not like a phone. I'm just gonna stop the tape. Hello, group 2, and welcome to your reading. This is Shon, and the reason why I'm saying that is because I am quite certain I forgot to mention my name in the intro My bad. If you've been here before, though, you already knew. If you're new, this is important information. Now, speaking of new, we might have many visitors here today from Esther Tarot. Esther and I are collaborating with one another on these videos this week. We are going to be talking about your destiny, life path, or purpose, whichever wording makes the most sense to you. I'm going to let you know, or possibly confirm for you if you already had a sense, what you are doing well already, how you've already actualized aspects of your life path already. Esther over at Estara Tarot is going to give you guys guidance on your next steps to take. So as soon as you finish listening to your reading here with me, be sure to head on over to her channel. I will definitely have the link to her channel in the description box of this video. I feel like that's everything I wanted to cover. You guys are probably ready for your reading, so let's get started. Okay, I have already shuffled your cards. I did pre-shuffle. However, you might still hear or see me do this side shuffle. I mean, you might not see it because I'm like having to work really hard just to even show it to you right now. But you might hear it as I talk just because it does sometimes help me with staying in the intention of the question we are asking today, or the information that we are seeking. So, guys, let's talk about what you all in group 2 have already done that has put you on your life path. Right away, we got this guy. How's that? That's kind of amazing. Not amazing, but wonderful. Wonderful and amazing are not the same thing. How has group 2 already begun to actualize their destiny, life path, or purpose? Next card we got was this guy. So if you've watched my readings before, you have noticed that most times I will place the cards face down. That is my preference until we get all of them for the spread. But if they happen to flip out face up and I already see them, I just go ahead and put it face up for you too, because you should have the same information that I have. How has group 2 already begun to actualize their destiny, life path, or purpose? Can we have a little bit more information? How has group 2 already begun to actualize? Thank you. Wow. All right. Very, very interesting. Very interesting. You know, you guys, wow. So the first thing that I'm struck by, which you might also have noticed, is that your entire spread is full of the depiction of males. Now, you know, in the tarot, the pages can, of course, also represent women, and the kings can also represent a woman because it's about the energy of the card. But just looking at the visual, before I even start to give you guys messages that are coming through, the first thing I'm seeing here is not just, well, the first thing I'm seeing, like I said, is that they're all male presenting. The cards that we have are male presenting. But on top of that, they're all facing directly at us. There are no profiles, no backs turned, no facing left or facing right. It's as though we are being confronted in this moment. And so with that alone, the first thing that I'm getting that you guys are doing well is you have a keen and clear sense of purpose, of clarity. You have clarity. It's for you guys, there's not really so much a question of what is the purpose or what should I do. You know. Sorry if you heard that honking out there. I live in Los Angeles, and so it can often be very noisy. Always be very noisy. And I'm even in a suburb of Los Angeles, and still it's like constant sounds. It's never quiet here. But anyway, you guys have clarity. You have clarity of vision. You have a sense of direction. You know where it is you need to go. And for the majority of you, you even know how to get there, or at least how to get started. Even if you happen to be someone who hasn't started taking steps towards it yet. I'm getting a sense that some of you you actually went and got formal training in the area that you feel called to. So if, for instance, you feel like you are called to shepherd people in a Christian sort of way, you might have gone to a theology school. Or if you felt called to be a dancer, you might have gotten formal training already. I feel like there's a lot of people in this group who have already been formally trained in the thing that is their life purpose. And if you're not living the purpose, a lot of you are living it. We see this especially in the Six of Wands, which is the victory card. And also in this King of Wands, King of Wands is the master manifester. So if there's anyone that can get shit done, it's people with the King of Wands energy, and you guys have that. You have that. So what I'm getting is that the majority of you in this group have already begun to, not even just begun to, you've gotten formally trained in that which is your life purpose, calling, or destiny. Some of you have not, but a good many of you have. But here's the thing. Here's where you guys are one, where you're all in a similar state. Whether it's that you never have gotten the formal training in it yet. And I'm not saying that formal training is needed for every single purpose or path or destiny of the people who chose this pile. For some of you, it's not even, formal training is not even a part of it. It's not even a thing, right? Or structured training, not even necessarily formal, because formal implies higher education, implies, degrees and stuff like that, or trade school at least. But even structured training, for instance, to be a tarot reader, you don't go to college for it, but there are many institutions out there, programs, individual coaching opportunities that will give you a structured way of learning how to read tarot, and some will even present you with a certificate. So that still counts as, that's what I mean. When I'm saying formal training, I really mean structured training, as opposed to just self-directed learning, which I personally feel is just as valuable. But anyway, so whether you've gotten that or not, everyone in this group has a clear sense of what their calling, life purpose, destiny, mission, vision is, even if only on a subconscious level. The majority of you guys, you know it consciously. Others of you, you've sensed it, you've felt it, you've wondered about it. I get a strong sense of wondering about it, even if you weren't necessarily sure. I don't want to say sure, because I feel like even in the wondering about it, there's something inside of you, on an energetic level, a soul level, a spiritual level, whatever you want to call it, that has known for certain. And when things come up or synchronicities happen, you're not surprised at all. And then some of you who got this formal training in it, you started on that path, have done things within that purpose, And I'm getting that some of you were stopped by life. There are things that happened in your life that created a conflict, and the conflict was within, and the conflict was over whether or not you should be doing this. And the answer is 100% yes, or 1,000 times yes. I love to say that. Yes, yes, 1,000 times yes. I can't remember what book or movie that comes from, but for you guys, this calling, this life purpose that you have is without doubt what you should be doing. If it has not already begun to do so, it will materialize on the earthly plane. That sounds weird. I don't even talk like that. I don't know why those words came out of my mouth that way. But in your life is how I talk. In your life, it will definitely be in your life if it's not already. And we have that from Page of Pentacles being here. And if for some reason it is not, let me say that better. If you're a person who hasn't already been living that destiny, been living that path, despite knowing clearly what it is and that you should, or just knowing clearly what it is, maybe the delay is that you didn't know that you should, it will be in your life. You will start to do this at some point. And then for others of you who have already been doing it, you are going to start doing it at a new level soon, where you have the opportunity to start again, but not like from ground zero, not from scratch. So for instance, let me see if I can give a good example on that. Let's say, for instance, you felt called to bake. I feel like this is the second time in this video that baking has come up for me. So obviously I want some dessert, but say you feel called to bake. Say you have a natural talent for it, and maybe you've even gotten some structured learning in it, or you had an uncle who is a great baker and he taught you things, whatever it is, and you've already been doing it. And so like you're the person in your family that people ask to make the desserts for events, whether they be weddings or Christmas parties or just someone's birthday or whatever, or everyone's just getting together for dinner and they want you to bring the dessert because you've got a gift for baking. And your baking might even extend beyond desserts, right? You might be that person who makes an amazing beef Wellington. You just got it. You've got it. And so you're already living that, right? You're already living that and you're bringing joy. So if for those of you who feel like the idea of life purpose or destiny means it's got to be pithy or big, I don't think it does, because I think at its core for all of us, our life purpose is to enjoy life. That's what I think. I think that's what we're here to do, is enjoy life, to experience and enjoy life. But some people feel like to use the term destiny or life purpose, it needs to be something big, huge, involve other people, possibly get accolades from others, right? And if you're one of those people and, for you, it doesn't resonate the idea of, well, I'm the one that bakes for my family. Know this, you're bringing them joy. These are other people. And that, the breaking of the bread you make, whether it's actual bread or pies or something else, that is so important to the bonding and the growth of your family or your friend set, whatever it is, right? So let's say you're a person that's already doing it at that level. So you're living the path. You're living your destiny. You're living your purpose. But you're starting to feel like you want a little bit more. Like maybe you've been thinking about having your own bakery. Or so I should say starting as opposed to having like a brick and mortar bakery, maybe, baking towards delivery and selling your goods is what I'm trying to get at. And so that's where Page of Pentacles comes in for you. So for some of you, it's about starting to do it. And for others of you, it's about doing it now at a new level, a next level. And because it's a new way for you, it's kind of entry level. If you are just now starting that bakery business, you are entry level as the owner of this company, as opposed to an entry level baker. Because pages talk of, starting things. I want to get some more cards for you. But yes, what I've definitely got here in terms of what it is, how it's already actualized in your life is, some people don't know. In fact, this came up in the reading for group 1. There were people in that collective that don't yet know what their purpose or life path is. I know people in my own life who are in their 60s and still feel like they need to find it. They don't know what it, or not even that they need to find it. They're just like, I don't know what mine is. I don't know what I want to do. And I'm like, look, you ain't got that much time left. You better decide. Okay, yeah, I know I'm not supposed to say shit like that out loud, but that's just how I am. And you either love it or you hate it. So anyway, yeah. The conflict that's been there, for those of you who have had an inner conflict around it, let that conflict go. If you are fighting with yourself over it, let that go. Because what you know is real and it's true for you. And there is victory in store for you in this, okay? This is yours. This is happening. And you're going to be good at it. Because it could be that it's happening and then you stink at it, right? Like, this page of Pentacles could have been followed by like Ten of Swords or something, but it's not. It's followed by the Victory card. You have the ability to do this. You know what it is. Cut it out with the inner conflict around it. Go ahead and start, or up level, because you will be victorious at it. Okay, let me push these up so I can get you a few more cards. Oh, wow. So back of the deck energy. You can't see that. I just went to put the deck down, the deck that we pulled from first. This is the Gilded Tarot Royale, Sarah Marchetti, and it's the Hierophant. And Hierophant talks about structures, whether it's educational structure, like higher education, formal learning, structural learning, like structured learning, that like we already talked about. Even though this one looks very, very, very specifically Pope-y, very specifically religion-y, that's not all that Hierophant is. It's a very slim piece of what the Hierophant card is. So yeah, that's the back of the deck energy for you. So I feel like for a lot of you guys, there might be a message here specifically to go ahead and start getting that structured learning in it. Again, it does not have to be formal education. You do not have to go to college necessarily, unless it happens to be something that requires a degree. But get some structured learning around it. And, for the ones of you that are in this group that have that inner conflict that came up here, it might be because you don't feel qualified. Are you struggling with imposter syndrome? Because if so, I'm going to go ahead and tell you to stop. And the reason why I'm going to go ahead and tell you to stop is because look at the confidence in these cards. Can you see that? Let's see what happens if I tip. Oh, I can't tip it. I thought this was my other camera. I have a different camera set up where I can like tip the camera and like let you see the whole table, but I can't do that with this one. Sorry. But you saw them when they were down here, okay? There's surety in these cards for you. Surety, there's no more need for doubt, and you definitely don't need to feel like an imposter. The thing that you know deep down inside you should be doing, or have felt you should be doing, go ahead and know it. This is your confirmation. Yeah. But I feel like the majority of y'all are like, no shit, Sean. Because, hey, we're the ones that know. That's the pile you are. That's the group you are. The ones who already know what the thing is. All right, let's see if I can get some more information for you. I want to show off my riffle skills. Let's see. Oh, and then I failed. Oh, look at that. Epic fail. That's what you get for showing off, Sean Wilson. Ooh, I just heard my mama. Anyway, listen, so over the Christmas holidays, one of my nieces wanted to, I was doing readings for people online, and one of my nieces wanted to learn how to shuffle because she saw me shuffling. She's 5.5. I have twin nieces that are 5.5. I love them to death. And one of them wanted to learn how to shuffle, so I began to teach her, and that was fun. I don't love everyone's kids, but I love my sisters. Okay, so boom, there it is. Let's get some more information for you guys. What other information can we have for group 2 around what they already know is their calling? Can we have any more information around this? Any more information about what they're already doing well? Is there anything that wants to come up, or are we? Oh! You guys got the Sun card. That's a great big giant yes. That's a great big giant yes. And I'm gonna put it right here. That's a go for it. Stop with this. Have more of this. If you feel you need to, go get this. Okay. Stop with the doubt, the inner conflict. If the conflict is coming from, if it's external conflict, if it's coming to you externally from someone else, if someone else is telling you not to do it, you know that you should be doing it. So go ahead and do it anyway, and just let them deal. Let them deal with it. You are not on this earth to fulfill other people's ideas. You are on this earth to self-actualize. Do it. Do it. All right, you guys. So, I am going to grab a oracle card for you from the African Goddess Rising Oracle by Abiola Abrams, to see if any of these wonderful goddesses found within this deck. This deck is made up of goddesses as well as ancestors. And I feel like the term ancestors for this deck is used, pretty broadly to mean people who once lived. You might not actually be from their DNA line, but they are people who actually lived. And then others are deities that have been worshipped in different regions of Africa. I love this deck. It's beautiful. You'll see if you haven't seen it already. Okay, which goddess and or ancestor has, look at this. Wow. The reason why I caught I caught in my speech is because it flipped out as I was talking. The question was, of course, going to be who's got the word for group 2. And you guys got Ngame. That's with an M, not a B. So Ngame. And her keyword is desire. And this comes right back to do what you want to do. Don't let anybody stop you. Not even you. Desire. What is it you feel called to do? What is it you desire to do? You already know what it is. That's the leg up that you have that people in some of the other groups do not yet have. You already know what the thing is. So I'm going to grab the guidebook so I can give you her affirmation. But as you can see, she is quite magical. Even before I pull that up, she's quite magical. I believe she's considered a conjurer. She's in the house of conjurers within this deck. You can see all the mysticism, cosmic, not mystic, the cosmic power around her depicted through these planets. You have the triple moon. You have a golden arrow that is being shot from a bow that looks like the moon, looks like a new moon. You got the flowing waters and all that fire energy. Look at all that red in there. It's red, it's purple, it's yellow. All that red and yellow. Fire energy galore. So this is It's the illustration of getting shit done. Okay. I had to step away for just a second. My cat wanted to leave the room, and he was just standing there looking at the door, looking really pathetic. So so like all of this fire, look at the use of light in this photo of the King of Wands, because King of Wands, of course, is fire energy. And then, of course, you've got the fire and the use of light in this depiction of the Six of Wands, again, fire energy. And then you have Angame, who shows up and goes, I came to play. Make way for me, white boys. I'm here too. She probably doesn't sound like that. I'm just a clown. So, take it with a grain of salt. Do not negative comment me over that. I will block you. Okay, so, and then, of course, Hierophant. This particular depiction of Hierophant also has a lot of gold and red. And the use of light. Look at the light emanating off of this dude. This is a shiny dude. So you guys can. I feel like this is saying to you, inherently have the power. And this is probably why you know. While some people don't know, you know, because you have been equipped from birth to get it done. So let yourself do it. Move from just knowing you can, move from just knowing what it is to knowing that you can. Okay? Get what you desire. Do what you desire. All right, so we're looking up Miss Ngame now and seeing her affirmation for you to carry you through. I like this. It says, what I desire desires me. And I feel like that is definitely a message to those who have the inner conflict around this, and again may be struggling with imposter syndrome. It is also, I feel, a direct message to those of you who are not struggling with imposter syndrome and already knew what it is you wanted to do, or may already be doing it, but it's a confirmation for you that you are definitely going in the right direction. You are on the right path. What I desire desires me. And I want to give you guys something, okay? The flip side of that is, let yourself stop when you no longer desire to do something. What I desire desires me puts spotlight on the fact that what you want matters. And along with the idea that what you want matters, what you don't want also matters. So some of you may have been on a path for a while, and maybe you're starting to want something new. And so when I talk here about the knowing what it is, maybe you guys know what the new thing is you want to do. Well, you guys still got the yes. And you still got Ngame. And you still got Page of Pentacles. So you can still let yourself do it. Okay? You can let yourself do the new thing. And if you feel like you need to, go ahead and get that structured education around it. That's what I've got for you, Group 2. What a lovely energy this reading is. Group 1's reading was a gorgeous energy too. It was a different energy than this one. I love being able to affirm for you that what you think you know is correct. What you know that you want is correct. And some of y'all don't need me to affirm it because you know it so clearly. And this is why we have these dudes looking right at us. Shoot, even Ngame is just like in your face, staring right at you. Yes, this Sun card in your face, staring right at you. Yes, the only card that we got in this reading today where the face is not directly forward is in this Hierophant card. And so I really think, if I didn't say it well enough before, I want to say it better now. Structured or formal education is not required unless it happens to be a field in which it's required. So for instance, if you feel called to be a psychiatrist, yeah, you gotta go to school for that. You have to get the advanced degrees for that. That's a given. But if you're going back to our example from earlier, if you feel called to bake, you don't have to go to the Sorbonne. You don't even have to go to Johnson C. Smith School of Culinary Arts in Charlotte, North Carolina, which is where I'm from. You can just learn how to bake and then open your damn shop or start selling it out of your house, whatever, you know? So I feel like this is why this is the one card that we got that was not face forward, because this is not a have to. But knowing that you know that you know that you know, that's a have to. And the majority of the people in this collective, if not all, I feel like all of you are already there. 6 cards looking directly forward. You already know. You're already there. You already know. You guys, if this reading is making sense for you, if it's hitting home, if it resonates, as people like to say in the tarot world, put a sun emoji in the comments so I can know that you were group 2, you heard your message, and you know what you know that you know that you know now about yourself. Okay, I'm going to say goodbye now. I'm assuming you guys have been awesome. Again, remember, now that you finish getting this part of your reading, go to Esther Tarot. And Esther is going to tell you what your next steps are to continue down your life path, destiny, purpose, whatever you want to call it. And I'll see you guys again in a couple weeks. Hello, group 3, and welcome to your reading. Okay, listen. If you happen to watch more than one of the videos, more than one of the readings in this video today, you will notice that this one looks warmer, as in more yellow, a little more red than the ones that came before. And it's because I'm using natural light. I have this, I have the blinds open and the sun is coming through today because I broke my ring light, both of my ring lights, like within a month. And the one of them, the last one, the second one broke earlier this week, and I'm waiting for a new one to arrive sometime today, but I needed to make sure I recorded this so that it could be uploaded in time for this awesome collab that I am doing with Esther from Esther Tarot. In case you don't know, because I think I forgot to say it in the introduction, my name is Shon. Welcome to my channel, shon.vibes, or welcome back if you have been here before. You already knew what my name was and you didn't care that I didn't say it. But for those of you who might be new to the channel, particularly if you came because Esther sent you my way after you watched her video, hi, I'm Shon. Nice to meet you. I am just as crazy as I sound. So, so listen, you guys, today, Esther and I are talking with you about your destiny, your life path, your purpose. I am going to give you insight, possibly confirm for you, if you already know, what you have already actualized in your life that is in accordance or alignment with your life path. So I'm going to be talking about what's already working, what's already going well, what you're already doing, quote, right. I say quote because I don't like that word. And Esther, in her video today, is going to be she's going to give you guys guidance, actually, on your next steps to take so that you can continue along this path, your destiny, your purpose, the fulfillment of your vision. So, I don't need to yammer on anymore. I'm just going to go ahead and get started. Just so you guys know, I have pre-shuffled your cards, as I did with all 3 readings today. However, I am going to, I'm trying to decide. Yeah, sorry, I was trying to make a decision and talk at the same time, and I suck at all forms of multitasking, so that's why there was that slight hitch there. I've pre-shuffled your cards, so they have already been severely randomized for your reading, as well as cleared of energies from past readings I've done with these decks. This is all you, baby, group 3. So what we're going to do right now is we are going to ask, and we are going to find out in what ways you have already started to actualize your destiny, your life purpose, your path. Oh yes, I remember now why I was telling you about having pre-shuffled. You might still hear or see me do this. It does help me focus the energy. be in the intention of the question and the answers that we are seeking. And it's also part of my process for selecting your cards. So let's find out. In what ways has group 3 already actualized elements of their life purpose? In what ways has group 3 already actualized elements of their life purpose? Okay, we have our first card. In what ways has group 3 already actualized their life purpose? In what ways has group 3 already begun to actualize their life purpose? This one came to me flipped up, so if I see it flipped up, you get to see it flipped up too. In what ways has group 3 already begun to actualize their life purpose? You know, I just have to say, the fact that that's Page of Wands already is like really cool, because Page of Wands has to do with inspiration, belief systems, what inspires you, what you're passionate about. And then the fourth card you got was the Judgment card there, which is a major arcana, which is really, really great to get in a reading about life path, life purpose, destiny. Because major arcana is big things in our lives, big changes, big events, big events, not necessarily always changes, but big events in our lives. And talking about your life purpose is a big thing, right? That's a heady subject. All right, so we also got Two of Swords, and we got Seven of Swords. Then we got Page of Wands. Oh my God, I'm in love with this. And we got the Judgment card. If y'all could see me, I am like bowing down to you right now. I am bowing down to this group. I am so impressed with you guys based on what I've gotten here from these cards. You guys, y'all don't let nobody tell y'all nothing, okay? So what you have already done well is you have held on to, regardless of what has ever been said to you by anybody, those well-meaning as well as those with nefarious intentions, you have held on to the decision that you made for your life. Now, that is a rare thing for people to be able to do, but you guys have successfully done that. And what I'm getting here is, for some of you, it was something that you learned over time how to do. That you used to be susceptible to other people's opinions and criticisms, but you have learned how to judge for yourself. Judge yourself for yourself. And, you know, judging yourself sounds bad. It sounds like, oh, we shouldn't judge ourselves. We make self-assessments all the time. Okay. In fact, we should self-assess, because it's a great way for us to know if we are living in alignment with whatever it is we want to be in alignment with. Or if we're being the best version of ourselves, or the version of ourselves, I should say, the version of ourselves that we want to be. Self-assessment is a beautiful thing. Circumspection is a beautiful thing, and more people should do it. And you guys have, I feel like a lot of you grew up into being able to say, this is me. This is what I want. So the thing that you're doing well, the way in which you've already actualized towards your life path or destiny, is you have, how do I put it? Because I have it coming to me in two ways. Give me a second here, you guys. You have, come on, give me the words. What are the words? I got the feelings, but what are the words? You have stood. I know that sentence is not normal. But it's you stood. Stood your ground, okay? But it's more than that. It's the fact that this was not second nature to a lot of you. That you got to a point in your life, in your development, where you learned how to trust your decisions, that you learned how to make up your mind for yourself, that you learned how to not let what other people thought or said, or what you may have thought they said, because sometimes we will speculate about what people think about us, or we think they're judging us. You just don't live in that space anymore. And I feel like for a lot of you, it's because it derailed you so much. And one day you got to the point that you were just like, enough is enough. I am making the choices for my life now. And that's not to say you've become like a hard ass. Some of you might have, but not all of you. It's not to say that you become someone who is just won't listen to what anybody else thinks or says. But unsolicited opinions, you don't give a shit. You're like, I didn't ask you. And then even with solicited opinions, when you have sought out insight, ideas, opinions about your choices from others, you have gotten to a place where you can just take it as that person's perspective, as opposed to taking it as gospel or something that you have to give a lot of credence to. You guys the people in this group might have been in your youth very so susceptible, because I feel like everyone in this group was at some point susceptible to what other people told them about themselves, what other people told you about you. But I feel like many of you in this group, on top of that, used to let it define you. So not just that it made you feel a certain kind of way, but like if someone said to you, oh, you're so organized, that you started like functioning like someone who was really, really organized. Or if they said to you, sorry, I hit the camera. Or if they said to you, oh my God, you're so funny, then you felt the need to always make a joke. And not only when you saw that person or were with that person, but it's almost like you became what they dubbed you, right? Like the idea of a king or a queen dubbing a knight, and bestowing on them a title that they didn't already have, or a common person making them a knight, right? And and they go, I hereby dub you Sir whatever of whatever land. I don't know. I don't, my point is this. And then forevermore after that, that person was the thing that the king or queen said. Okay, here's one. I got it. I hereby dub you the Marquess of Breckenshire. I don't know. I just made that up. So, and so this person who heretofore might have just been a baron is now a marquess, and they start acting in the way a marquess would. And they do, they have afforded to them the privileges of that, right? And they don't still act like a baron. And for those of you who want to be like, Sean, it's Marquis or whatever, it depends on the country that you're talking about. Anyway, so for you guys, it's along the lines of people would say to you, you are this or you are that, and you would take it as truth. And you have come to the place in your life where you don't do that anymore. No one else is defining you. And no one else can make you think differently than what you think. If you choose to change your mind about something, you are that person that you've changed your mind because you decided to, not because somebody tricked you into it. You are not gullible anymore. You make your own decisions and you do it with confidence. You have the ability to make your choices from the gut level, the spirit level, and not just analysis. And you are now, able to apply that to what you do with your life and how you do it. And it's all based on what inspires you, what you are passionate about. You assess for yourself instead of letting other people dictate to you what is possible for you. That's what I'm trying to say. That's what I'm trying to say. You're not that one that lets people decide what you can't or can do. And that is a beautiful thing. That is a gorgeous thing. And for you guys in group 3 here, it was a hard one. It took you a while to become this person, but you are this person now. And you should be very proud of yourself for that. So you are the one that's deciding what your path, your purpose. Even those who you think know you really well, they don't know you as well as you know you. And now you know that. You didn't used to know that. When I decided to go to college for acting, the head of the music department, for those of you who don't know me on a personal level, I went to a private school for high school. I went to an all-girls boarding school for high school. And we had a boys' school that was down the street and around the corner. And our music departments often worked in concert with each other, pun very intended. And so one of the many things I did in the music department was I played the viola. And the boys' school had purchased the viola on my behalf so that I could play it in the string ensemble, which was a combination music group. It had members of the boys' school as well as the girls' school in it. And I like I said, I did a ton of things in music when I was in high school, also before high school, clearly. But so I was known as someone who did music. And I tried to do acting while I was in high school, but the head of the theater department said she could not cast me anything because they, quote, weren't doing any black shows. Yeah, she said that. She said it to the dean of students when the dean of students asked, what is going on? Why aren't you letting Shon do anything? But I digress. So my senior year, when the head of the music department over at the boys' school, which I'll call St. Chris from now on because that's the name of the school, St. Christopher's, when she found out that I was planning to go to college for acting and not for music, because I played in the string ensemble, I sang in the chorale, I sang in the pop music group, the pop singing group, and I also played piano. I wrote pieces that the string ensemble played. She decided to sit me down so that we could have a talking to. So she could have a talking to me. I don't know how to say that. She gave me a talking to. That's what she did. That was her intention, was to give me a talking to. And in that conversation, I remember it very, very vividly. And this was over 30 years ago at this point. Ooh, I just told y'all my age. Or it was 30 years ago at this point. She sat me down in the chapel of the girls' school, St. Catherine, St. Cat's, my school. And not just asked me about my decision, which was none of her damn business, about what I did with my life going forward. But she told me that I should not do that which I had planned to do, and called me a dilettante, which, if you don't know that word, it means a person that dabbles in the arts, and it is usually used as an insult with a negative connotation. Now, I had been an artist my entire life. At this point, I was 17, so I was far from being a dilettante. And also, this was none of her damn business. I cannot stress that enough. And that is actually my point of sharing this story with you. Except this. It did take me... Well, first of all, I did go ahead and go to school for what I wanted to study because that's what I wanted to do. But that conversation stuck in my head because we were in the chapel and it was dark. It's not like the lights were completely off. There was nothing untoward happening, but I remember it was dim, like the sun had gone down. It was the school year, so days are short during the like fall and winter months. And I just, the memory that I have of it, whether or not this is 100% factual was it being this dark scene, physically dark. And her coming and criticizing me with her lopsided analysis of who I was and what I was doing. She only knew me on one plane, on one level, and that was as someone who played in the string ensemble for the girls' school. She knew nothing of my life. She wasn't even ever in my math classes, let alone anything about the non-academic parts of my life. She knew one aspect of my life and didn't even know it very well because she was not the head of the music department at my school. She was the head of the music department at the boys' school. She was not even my string ensemble teacher. She was not even my piano teacher. She didn't teach at my school. She taught at the boys' school. But the boys' school had purchased the instrument on my behalf. And so I think that made her think she had a right to tell me how to spend the rest of my life. A woman I was never going to see again. And it's not like I took wait, did they gift me that viola? You know what? I might have gotten to keep it. And maybe that's where that came from for her. I don't know. I don't remember. Either way, I wasn't required to keep playing viola for the rest of my life because she convinced the school to buy it for me. Because they needed a violist. This was not some just, here's this one violist that needs a viola, so let's buy it for her. There was no one else that knew how to play the viola at the school. And so it was a win-win. The boys' school bought it for me so that I could play in the string ensemble because the other members of the string ensemble were all either violinists or they were cellists. No one else knew how to play the viola. So I say all of that to say, you guys, other people don't get to decide for you. And you are the group that knows that. And you are the group that doesn't let what they say about you sit on you anymore. You used to be, some of you used to be that person, just like I was that person. After that conversation with her, I did go on to do whatever I wanted to do, but it kept coming back in my head every once in a while, every few years, maybe a couple times, because we have so many thoughts. It could be that it came up many times a year, but I was conscious of it, every once in a while, this accusation that I couldn't stick with something. And that's unfair. Other people don't get to define you, and other people don't get to tell you what you can and cannot do. Other people do not get to tell you what you should or should not do. And then some people, because they have ulterior motives, and I bring this up because, I talked earlier about, I mentioned nefarious, with this Seven of Swords here. Some people, they set out to convince you of certain things, and they don't always use truth to do it. They lie. They straight up lie. And you are that group who, even if you don't know that it's a lie, you still make your decision based on what is real and true and right for you. That's where you've gotten to in your life. Some people can tell right away when someone is lying to them. I feel like you guys have really, really good discernment. I said this earlier. Because not only do we have this here, but then also we have the Judgment card. And while I do tend to read Judgment as being about self-assessment, Judgment is also about calling. The Judgment card is also about your calling, your life purpose. And here you have, the inspiration, the inspiration motivation card. The passion card, that's what I was trying to say, passion. And with it being Page of Wands, it's typically about a new passion and a new inspiration. So what I just got from this as well is that you guys are the group that when you are newly inspired by something, you allow yourself to explore it regardless of what came before or what anybody else might think about it. You don't even talk yourself out of it. I think it was group 2 that had part of the element for group 2 had to do with conflict within oneself about things, but y'all aren't that. And that's part of what you're doing well. That's part of how you're already self-actualizing your life purpose. You don't have self-conflict. You don't have, you don't fight with yourself over what you do. You get excited about something, you make the decision and you go. You are a very decisive group. That's what we have here between this 2 of Swords your inability to be tricked by someone who's like a Seven of Swords energy. You make a decision about what inspires you, what you want to do, what you're excited about, what you're passionate about, and you go forward. And I feel like with you guys, y'all also, if you ever decide you don't want to do it anymore, you let yourself make that choice too. You don't tend to feel like you have to keep doing something that you're finding doesn't work for you. You're very in tune with your reality. You're very in tune with yourself. Your body, mind, and spirit, if they are not harmonized, aligned, in unity, the people in this group definitely have the ability for that. So some things you can do to help with that: baths, showering with sea salt or Epsom salt. And I say showering because everybody knows you can put those things in a bath, but did you know that you could also shower with them? What I do, because I don't have a usable bath in my home here in Los Angeles, is I will take the salt and put it on the shower thingy. I can't remember what it's called, but it's the one that looks, it's like net. So not the spoof or this schmoof or whatever it's called. So there's the one that's like the spongy kind, and there's the one that's like a tied up fishing net. I've got that, the second one. And so I put the salts directly on that, and then I squirt my shower gel on top of that. And so then when I scrub myself in the shower, I'm still getting the benefits of the relaxation benefits that come with the salt being activated by the humidity in the air and the water, the same way I would, or similarly to how I would if I were in a tub. And so you guys have that as an option to help you with getting that unity. Balancing your chakras through energy healing with stones and crystals is a possibility for you guys. Definitely yoga, Tai Chi. If you're like, oh, well, I don't know where to take yoga, or we don't have yoga in the small town where I live, Sean, YouTube's got it all. I always like to talk about YouTube. There are a ton of videos that will lead you through these practices that can help you have unity of mind, body, and spirit. But I feel like the majority of the members in this group, the majority of the people that picked this particular reading, y'all have that naturally. Because you not just because you just came out of the womb and you're like balanced and perfect. Of course not, you're human. But you naturally seek out ways to keep mind, body, spirit harmonization as your reality. Keep your mind, your body, and your spirit harmonized is what I was trying to say. Okay, so this is what I have for you guys. Let's see if we have any more information coming in about this very decisive group who trusts themselves. Oh, y'all. And then at the back of the deck, so here, the back of the deck energy for this group is Nine of Cups. Nine of Cups is the satisfaction card. So the reason why you guys live in an energy of satisfaction is because you make decisions well and quickly and that are fitting for you. And this is why you live a satisfied life. And if you're listening to this and you go, well, Sean, I'm very dissatisfied in this area over there. I challenge you to go and, I'm going to do better. I'm going to say, I invite you to go back and look at how you came to have that situation or be in that scenario, and see if the decision that was made to do so, or to have that thing or whatever it is, see if that decision was made for the benefit of someone else, on behalf of someone else, or because of someone else's words, either of praise or criticism or expression of need. But I would venture to say it probably was not organic to you. Excuse me for a second. I need to get some water. My voice is sounding a little scratchy. Okay, so let's get a little bit more information for you. Is there more? There we go. Is there more information for group 3 about how they are already actualizing their calling? Okay, we got King of Pentacles. And you guys, if this reading is resonating with you already, if you are hearing yourself or seeing yourself in what I am saying, please leave an emoji in the comment section. Why don't you guys leave me a star emoji in the comment section? If you listen to more than one of the readings today and more than one of them spoke to you, leave me one of each of the emojis that we talked about. Okay, so for group 3, is there any more information? Any more information for group 3 regarding how they are already actualizing their purpose, life path, or destiny? How is group 3 already actualizing their purpose, their life path, or their destiny? Anything else? Anything else? Anything else? Oh, thank you. Well, that was quite, wow, okay. So one of what we have here, we have King of Pentacles, 8 of Pentacles, and 3 of Cups. And I feel like you guys, the message, oh, and then in the back of the deck on this one, we also have Queen of Pentacles. So you guys are probably also seeing some, sorry, I don't have that in the frame. Let me do better. So that's your Queen of Pentacles. Okay. Back of the deck energy for this part of your reading. You guys, a good many of you, if not all of you, your life path or purpose, your calling is tied to your ability to earn. So if it's not something that you have been making money at, it is definitely something that you could be making money at. And again, what we talked about in this video is where you are already doing well. And so I feel like the majority of the people who chose this reading, you guys are already benefiting on the this isn't my normal language, but I've heard people who read tarot say this, in the 3D or on the material plane in your life. That's what I'm trying to say. You guys have already successfully received material benefits from your path. Now, those may have presented themselves in the form of money, especially with us having King of Pentacles and Queen of Pentacles here. But it also, but it also might have to do with it having shown itself in your life, in your being, sorry, I'm searching for words because I have like 3 things coming at me at once. Sorry, give me a second here. In your being able to hone that skill or get better at the thing, and you're celebrated for it. Like, this is a thing that people know about you. They know you do it. I feel very strongly like for a lot of you, it's literally that you've been making money at it. That's what I'm getting more than anything. And we have like three pentacle cards here. So you're very, very skilled at it. And it's probably because you knew that you had the right to do it, right? Or you chose to listen to yourself and not let other people convince you that you couldn't or tell you that you shouldn't. You had an instinct, or you utilized your discernment and you went forward with it. And so that has resulted in your receiving because of it. So maybe it's money, maybe it's awards, maybe it's both. I'm getting a sense of you're being known for that thing already, notoriety. So that could be that you're known for it in your community. It could be that you're known for it. Some of you watching this, I don't have a huge subscriber count yet, but some of you watching this may be people who are known in the world for what you do already. But there is definitely a sense of your receiving on a physical level because of this calling or purpose or path of yours. So for instance, sometimes we think that purpose has to just be spiritual, or destiny is just about spirituality or talents. But no, man, because Steve Jobs, what he did with Apple, that was his flipping destiny, and the whole world benefited from that shit, right? So it's not, so that's and he made a lot of money doing it. So don't think that your destiny, purpose, life path, whatever you want to call it, or vision, don't think that for it to be your destiny, calling, life path, purpose, vision, vocation, that it can't be tied to money, or there can't be earning potential in it, because there can. And that there can't be accolades for it, because there can. It doesn't just have to be, oh, I feel called to be a nun, or I feel called to be a priest, or I feel called to be a dancer, which dancers better get paid, especially if you train for that shit. Like, and I say that as someone who, guess what? Yes, I dance too. Okay, so anyway, my point is this. Y'all have already been receiving physical or material benefits from this path of yours. Before I leave you, because this one is just a tad longer than the others, but before I leave you, and again, those physical benefits might be in the form of money or awards and accolades, notoriety, even if there's not a physical award attached to it, or all three. That's what I got. And y'all are already starting to get it. And if you're one of those people that's already gotten, known for or is getting paid for the thing that you know is your path, tell me what it is in the comments. I'm very interested to know what some of you guys do. I'm actually interested to know what all of you guys do, but I just happen to be realistic enough to know that not all of you guys are going to tell me. But if you feel comfortable sharing that information, let me know about your life. I talk about my life all the time. Okay, so I'm pulling an oracle card for you guys today from the African Goddess Rising Oracle by Abiola Abrams. It is one of my favorite oracle decks because the artwork on it is so beautiful. And then also I love it because it has melanated people in it, which most oracle decks do not. We're getting more and more of that, but we just don't have a ton of it yet. So it's very nice for me to look at an oracle deck and see these gorgeous women depicted. And so we are going to, this deck is made up of goddesses as well as people who lived, who were not deities, but were humans that lived. They are called in the guidebook for this oracle ancestors. They may or may not be your actual ancestors, but they are humans that lived on the earth, that experienced life. And we're going to pull from this deck. I'm going to ask which of these beautiful women has a message for you today, group 3. Oh, and just as soon as I said it, the card flipped, and it's this one. I always struggle with her name. I think it's I'm going to try that again. Mame Kumba Bang. That's what I think it is. It's probably not, though. If you happen to know, shoot, Esther, when you watch my video, if you know how to say this, message me, send me a voice message and tell me how to say it. So the next time I pull this card, I get it right. But I think it's Mame Kumba Bang. Mam Kumba Bang. I don't know though. But her keyword is speak up. And see how she, like, behind her, there are these hands raised. These are people that are okay with standing up for themselves. And that's who you are, group 3. That's who you are. Speak up is her keyword. Let me grab that guidebook and give you, oh, I'm sorry. I just didn't even include her in the, there you go. All right, just hanging off the side there. Grab the guidebook and get an affirmation for you guys from her. So she's number 33. And okay, so this affirmation actually seems like it's more for those of you who have struggled around this, or if you have not been struggling around the idea of sticking with the decision you make for yourself, in the case that in the future you ever feel that you can't, this affirmation will be useful to you, okay? So if you ever have those periods of doubt or those periods of feeling like you don't have a right to do something or you're not worthy of something or whatever the thing is that makes you doubt a decision that you made. Sometimes we make a decision and then things don't go the way we wanted it to, and so then we doubt our ability to make decisions. And we start suffering self-doubt as a way, and having self-doubt as a way of life. You guys are not that group. Or if you have been that group, you're not that group anymore. If you've been that person, I should say, you're not that person anymore. You don't ever have to go back to doubting yourself. And so if it should come up in the future that the opportunity arises for you to doubt yourself, your affirmation is this: I reclaim my voice, I speak out and speak up. I reclaim my voice, I speak out and speak up. Okay, gorgeous people. I assume you're gorgeous. I don't know, you might be a dog. I don't know. But but you are definitely gorgeous for being here with me today. Your energies inspire me to continue making these videos. Actually, you know what? Even if nobody watched them, I would make them because I just absolutely love doing these tarot videos. So much so that I've forgotten about my other channel. So I have another channel if you want to follow it. It is my name, Shawn Wilson. It's where I host my podcast, Not So Average Dreamer with Shawn Wilson. Sorry, it's just called Not So Average with Shawn Wilson, the podcast. You can listen to it on any podcast platform, but it's also available here on YouTube in video form. And it's a podcast where I encourage people to pursue their dreams, oddly enough. And with in the past, there's been a lot of, talking and sharing and, quizzes and games and stuff like that. But starting this upcoming season, which is going to be the third season, starting now in 2023, I'm going to start incorporating tarot into that podcast as well. And so if you think you have an interest in getting tarot guidance for your dreams, you should check out that podcast. It's Not So Average with Shawn Wilson, available on every podcast platform and also as video on Spotify and YouTube. You guys, again, if this reading today resonated for you, put the star emoji in the comments. Let me know the decision that you make that you feel that you've made that you feel the most proud of. I would love to hear that. Also, remember to like this video so that it can get out to more people, to share it with others, and to subscribe to this channel as well as the one that I just pitched a second ago. But most importantly, you guys, after having heard from me today, what it is you're already doing well, how you have already been actualizing your destiny, you now need to go to Esther's channel. You're going to go to Esther Tarot. The link to her channel will be in the description box of this video here, because Esther is going to give you your next steps for continuing on your path. This has been a wonderful collaboration. I'm glad that you came and played with us this week, and I look forward to seeing you in my next video next time. Bye.